The most annoying Pixel 10 bug, the one that made your screen flicker dozens of times an hour, is finally gone. Google just pushed out the January update, and for a lot of Pixel users, this one actually matters. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It really helps me keep bringing you more tech breakdowns like this one. If you've been using a Pixel 10, especially with the always-on display enabled, you already know the problem. Every single time the clock changed, basically once a minute, the screen would flicker. And it didn't stop there. Notifications triggered it too. It was subtle enough to look like a hardware issue, but frequent enough to drive people crazy. Now, after months of complaints, Google says it's fixed. This update is part of Google's January 2026 release for Pixel phones running Android 16 QPR2, and it's rolling out to a long list of devices. That includes the Pixel 7a, Pixel Tablet, Pixel Fold, the Pixel 8 and 9 series, and of course the entire Pixel 10 lineup, including the Pro, Pro XL, and Fold models. Notably missing, once again, are the Pixel 6 series and the regular Pixel 7 and 7 Pro. Why does this update matter? Because it's not about flashy features or AI tricks. It's about fixing core problems that affect how your phone feels every single day. The always-on display is something people glance at constantly for time, notifications, or just reassurance. When that experience is broken, it chips away at trust in the device. Fixing it isn't optional, it's essential. The headline fix is clearly the Pixel 10 always-on display flickering issue. Google confirms the bug caused flickering whenever the clock updated or a notification came in, which could mean up to 60 flickers every hour. That's not just annoying, it makes the phone feel unfinished. With this update, that behavior should finally be gone across all Pixel 10 models. But Google didn't stop there. The January update also includes several fixes that quietly improve reliability. On the audio side, there's a fix for noisy ringback tones during WebEx calls under certain conditions. If you've ever thought your call audio sounded broken for no clear reason, that might have been it. Battery life also gets some attention. Google says it fixed an issue that caused excessive battery drain in specific situations. That's a vague description, but Pixel users know how frustrating unexplained battery loss can be, especially after major Android updates. Even small improvements here can make a noticeable difference over a full day of use. Display and graphics fixes go beyond the always-on display. Pixel 10 users editing HDR photos in Adobe Lightroom were seeing noisy lines flashing across the screen in certain cases. That's now addressed. Google also mentions general GPU performance improvements under certain conditions, which usually translates to smoother animations or fewer dropped frames, even if you don't consciously notice it. Touch input also gets a critical fix. Some Pixel 10 users were experiencing random moments where the touchscreen would just stop responding. That's one of the worst bugs a phone can have, because it makes the device feel unreliable. According to Google, that issue is now resolved. There's also a user interface fix that affects a wide range of Pixel devices. A bug involving live universe wallpapers could cause the Wallpaper and Style app to completely stop working until the phone was rebooted. That's now fixed, which should save users from unnecessary restarts. Installing the update is straightforward. Head to Settings, then System, then Software Updates, and check for a system update. Rollouts can take time, so not everyone will see it immediately. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, older Pixels. If you're on a Pixel 6, 6 Pro, 6a, or the regular Pixel 7 and 7 Pro, you probably noticed your phone wasn't included. That's because Google appears to have shifted these models to a quarterly update schedule instead of monthly. Their next update is expected in March. Honestly, that's easier to accept when you look at the bigger picture. Phones like the Pixel 6 Pro were never supposed to go beyond Android 15. Google extended support to Android 16 and even Android 17. Getting security updates every 3 months instead of every month feels like a reasonable trade-off. Overall, this January update isn't flashy, but it's important. It fixes real problems, especially for Pixel 10 owners who've been dealing with display issues for months. This is Google doing what it should have done earlier, but better late than never. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.